では、こんにちは。今日は stative verbs です。What is stative verbs? 新しい単語です。メガネをかける。to wear glasses. 痩せる。to lose weight. 太る。to gain weight. to get married. 結婚する。働く。to work. and 住む。to live. and 知る。to know. These verbs are called action verbs because they are focusing on the actions. Action of wearing glasses, メガネをかける. Or action of losing weight, 痩せる. Or to gain weight, 太る. Or to get married, 結婚する. These verbs don't carry the meaning of the state. Like somebody is skinny, or somebody is fat, or somebody is married. These are action of getting married, losing weight. Okay. If you say 痩せる、私痩せる、私は痩せます。私は痩せます meaning I am losing weight. You're not saying that you are skinny or slim. Okay. But how do you change these verbs into stative verbs? Stative verbs shows the state. Okay. And again, we are using the te form. What we are going to do is change this verb into te form and add imasu. Okay, so then it will be メガネをかけています。メガネをかけています means I'm wearing glasses. 痩せています。痩せています。I am slim. So then how about I'm fat? 太る。ごめん。太る。Te form will be, but this ru is irregular ru. So usually we consider ru, a verb with ru verb as, no, verbs with ru are ru verbs, but there are some irregular, right? Like kaeru. This one's another irregular. And with ru, but we consider this as u verb. So, 太っています。太っています。結婚しています。I am married. 働いています。I'm working. 住んでいます。I'm living somewhere. I live Sunnyvale. Sunnyvale に住んでいます。クプティーノに住んでいます。知っています。Do you know? I often ask you, oh, 知ってますかこれ知ってますか夜遊び知ってますかなんだろう。This 知ってますか Do you know is asking you about the state if you know something or not. So 知っている、知っています。ちょっと良くないな、もう一回やろう。こんにちは。では、今日は we'll talk about stative verbs. What are stative verbs? そう、new verbs です。はい。メガネをかける。to wear glasses. 痩せる。to lose weight. 太る。to gain weight. 結婚する。to get married. and 働く。to work. 住む。to live. 知る。to know. もう一回いきます。メガネをかける。痩せる。太る。結婚する。働く。住む。知る。These are called action verbs, like regular verbs, but focusing on the actions. What it means is that when you say メガネをかける, we are not talking about the state of you wearing glasses, just the action, wearing glasses. メガネをかけます. When you say 痩せます, doesn't mean that you are slim. You're stating that you are losing weight. You are focusing on the action. When you say 私は痩せます。私は痩せます。 you're saying, I am going to lose weight. It doesn't show the state that you are slim. If you say, 私は太ります, you're not saying you're fat, you're saying, I'm gaining weight. So these are actions. These only describe actions, not the state. When you say, Google で働きます means you're going to work at Google. Doesn't mean that you are working at Google at this moment. Okay? So it kind of implies the future. These verbs imply the future. Okay? では、how do you change these verbs into stative verbs? そう、定フォームです。Again. 定フォーム。In English, stative verbs are like to know, to believe, to like, to love. These we don't, we consider these as stative verbs because you're talking about the state of knowing something, believing something, loving something, or wanting. Okay? But it's a little different in Japanese. So, では、メガネをかける。What's the 定 form? メガネをかけて、you're います at the end. メガネをかけています。Now you're saying, I'm wearing glasses. メガネをかけています。痩せる。定 form will be 痩せています。I am slim. 痩せています。私は痩せています。Okay? And 太る, this root is verb, sorry. So then you want to change this to 太っています。太っています。I'm fat. I'm overweight. And this one. 結婚しています。I am married. 働いています。Google で働いています。住んでいます。サニーベルに住んでいます。クプティーノに住んでいます。知っています。I know. 知っています。You might notice that I often ask you, 知ってますか Do you know? Have you heard of this? Do you know? 知ってますかで、how do you change this into negative? If you are not wearing glasses like me, メガネをかけていません。メガネをかけていません。痩せていません。太っていません。結婚していません。Okay? Let's talk about the stative verbs and action verbs a little more because I know this is a little confusing. So when you look at these two verbs, 起きます and 持ちます。Just so you know, not all verbs use ています form to show a state. Not all the verbs have can be stative verbs. But this one, 起きます to wake up. When you say 起きます, the focus is on the action of waking up. So you're saying 起きます, I'm getting up. But on the other hand, when you say 起きています, this shows your current state, the current state. So you are saying, I am awake. So this guy, his boss asked him, Are you awake? 起きてますか?起きてますか? And he would say, 起きてます. I'm awake. 起きてます. But if he said 起きます, that sounds like he's saying, I'm waking up. So he's asleep and he's saying, I'm waking up. But he's actually awake. So he should say 起きています. Is this making sense? And this one, 持ちます. 持つ means to carry or to hold. So 持ちます. Oh, I'll hold this. I will carry this. Implies the future action that you're holding something. But when you say 持っています, meaning it's the state, the focus is on the state. So state, the fact that you're holding, possessing, having something. So when you say 持っています, the meaning is more like I have, I possess. Because the state of having something. So then let's go back to this one. Do you remember we did this before? So We use あります and います when we talk about something you have. Like アレルギーがあります。友達がいます。あります、います meaning to exist. But why don't we use this have 持っています Can't we say アレルギーを持っています or 友達を持っています But again, this 持っている has meaning of to hold or carry. So when you make this verb into stative verb, it almost like you're saying, I possess something. I possess money. お金を持っています。Implying you're rich. So when you say 友達を持っています it sounds like you're saying I possess my friend. I possess friends, which sounds very weird. Or妹を持っています。I possess sister. Strange. So instead of 持ってます we'll say あります and います。But this お金を持っています。I have money. お金を持っています。Can we say お金があります？お金があります。Yes, we can. We can do that. But 持っています implies that it's yours. あります meaning it's just there at home. Could be yours, could be your husband, could be your kids. Okay. So these stative verbs, some practice here. Like this one. お父さんはどこに住んでいますか？お父さんはどこに住んで、定フォーム住む、いますか？ニューヨークに住んでいます。会社で働いています。48歳です。お父さんは韓国で働いていません。Okay? Now think about your family or you. どこで働いていますか？どこに住んでいますか？結婚していますか？ Yeah? Practice a little bit. 私は、私は、メガネをかけていません。痩せています。太っていません。結婚しています。働いています。先生です。クプチーノに住んでいます。日本語を知っています。英語も知っています。あとは知りません。OK! ではお疲れ様。またね